This is what I call Sir Mix-a-Lot special because baby got back. Porch. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here at Coachmen today to get one of my first looks at their version of the it's not a tiny house, but it looks a lot like a tiny house kind of concept travel trailer thing here. They kind of took some time, they waited a year, they listened to feedback that people had, and tried to apply some of that to this. Now, this is like one of the very first run prototypes of this RV, so it's not exactly like it's going to be in production. For instance, this one, if you look at it, has sliding glass patio doors on the driver's side and camp side of the living area. That will not be the case for production. They will just be tons and tons of windows. That was just the quickest way for them to throw a lot of glass on this thing real quick to build a proof of concept that we're seeing today. The rear patio deck on this is also twice as deep as at least anyone else that I've seen do this. Maybe someone else is doing it, but I'm not aware of it. And that double deep deck, it's enough to actually put like big layback zero gravity chairs or something on there, or have like a little table and not get in the way of the doorway. So it still has come and go kind of flow to it. They rearranged the upper loft on this a little bit to give you a little more bed space. They did extend the RV just a touch as a result, but it gives it more of a north-south kind of bed arrangement. They are flirting with the idea of changing the shower up, and I need your input on that today to kind of get an idea of what you might think about it. They also built this thing with a really fancy pants projector screen kind of entertainment station here. So like when you look at it at a glance, it doesn't have any sort of TV setup. It absolutely can. It's got cool things. It's got weird things. It's got things you might not like. It's got things you might love. I don't know. We need your feedback on this sucker. Leave all the notes that you're willing to. And if you appreciate how we show you the ups, downs, in-betweens, and get you early looks at stuff here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our video. Let's get in there and see what they have to offer. Now, something I probably can't stress enough on this camper, so I'm just going to stress it once and be done with it, is that it's very different from the norm. But there's a couple other builders making little things like this out there right now. So I wanted to really focus in on where this one stands apart. Now, you do have removable stable steps off the back here. That really is your only entry and exit into the RV. And they have to be removable because, they're sticking way off the tail of this sucker, and they're not real hard to store. Plus, this is the kind of RV that once it's there and set, it's really intended just to leave. If you notice, it is deeper. Like, they made the deck about double the depth of nearly anybody else. And I think that right there is an immediate major shift point on this one. The whole concept here being like, if you actually want to bring like little outdoor picnic patio set, you have room on the left and right sides to put all that stuff without totally blocking the throughway that we're kind of enjoying right now. You do right above your head as I'm standing here though have they're running a JBL sound system. They're running one of the best sound systems in the world of stick and tin campers. And maybe that's important to you, maybe it's not, but that's one of the things they're doing. And I'll mention this one more time when we step outside. Today, we're looking at sliding glass patio doors on the sides. They will be windows exclusively. When this goes into production, it will not have side sliding patio doors. The whole arrangement here, again, very different. This, again, will also be windows, not a sliding patio door. This was just this is a prototype model. It was the quickest way that they could just sort of build something kind of the correct shape to see if it works. And I was invited down to get you early access, and they haven't gone into production yet. So they are kind of looking for a little bit of feedback. There might be a couple last minute tweaks and changes based on your input they could apply. Now, this is interesting. It's one of the first tandem axle Catalinas I've seen that does not run floor ducted heating, which is actually something I think that their line should try to adopt pretty much across the board. Because Catalinas are not like an Arctic cold camp kind of RV. They're something made for, spring, summer, fall kind of camping. This has the Harry Potter storage under the stairs. If you take a little bit of a look on the right side here, you see where, a future wizard in waiting could potentially call a miniature bedroom. Granted, they'd have to be a tiny, tiny person. And this is a fairly steep staircase I think it still qualifies as a staircase, not a ladder. I do like the very substantial kind of grab rail over on the right side here. They did their upper loft area a little bit differently because they added some length to the RV for the kitchen storage that we're going to see in a minute. They had room to play with up here. So as a result, they were flirting with the idea of like this would be called like an RV King, where it's like a 70 wide by 74 long. But if you notice, I mean, you could throw any mattress up here you could imagine. Now you have to get it up the stairs, which is going to be a little bit of a trick. So maybe one of those bed in a box things from like rvmattress.com where they ship in a box and then, you know, you open them and you cut the shrink wrap and they like shrinky dink pop into size and place at your destination. That might be the way to go here. You could also slide that mattress a little bit away from that electric fireplace up top. Now, one of the things to remember on those is they have a proximity sensor. So let's say you accidentally flip your pillow over the front of it at night. It's going to shut off and stop producing heat and not cause a fire. They also added a couple dollars of cost to this by putting a rain sensing max air vent fan up here because heat rises and these upper lofts can get a little toasty. Even though this has central air, it can still get toasty. So they wanted to make sure you weren't going to, you know, cook yourself to death up here. Now, to give you a size reference, this is not wide angle. This is just normal, like, kind of lens mode. You can see the, you know, I have plenty of room. No matter what mattress you put in here, a big full-size American dork like me has plenty of room in here. I was also pleasantly surprised that I could clearly sit up with like 6 inches of extra headroom above my head when I was laying in that sucker. So that's something I thought was actually pretty cool. Now, the right now it's just cabinets. I'm pretty sure that the left and right sides there are going to become closets with hanging rods when this does actually go into production. And again, this is the early prototype kind of feature. But I noticed over here, you have household and USB outlets, almost like they expected the mattress to be orientated against that window as opposed to against the closet over here. So it is possible that the mattress was just kind of tossed up here and that's not where they expect it to go. But again, I go back to the idea that you could put that mattress wherever you wanted and do whatever you wanted with it. But I do think having the mattress over there under that window is probably going to be the best orientation for it. However, I have an idea for the shower that would raise the headroom in the shower a little bit, but it would require building a little bit of a box up in that area beside the bed, almost like a side stand that would prevent you from moving the bed in that orientation. So again, need a little bit of your feedback on this thing. And again, it's not technically a tiny house because it is fully self-contained with holding tanks and all that. So the thing is, though, it does have a lot more of a home-style, full kitchen appliance kind of complement here. And it actually has some pretty decent prep space for no bigger than the RV is kind of in total. Where I mentioned they added some length to the RV. You see this big double door pantry beside the washer, dryer, and dishwasher? That is something that other builders of this layout typically don't have. So they're a little shorter, a little lighter, a little less money. But you could also argue a little less function as a result as well. And this is really intended, again, to be something that just gets to a destination and sits there. So it doesn't have like gas electric refrigerators or you know, anything like that. That's a 110 residential fridge. Where do we want to start with storage? Let's actually work our way down here a little bit. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up top and around. Cracking open those drawers. 3 drawers, one with a silverware organizer. Feels kind of appropriate here. It's not over the top, it's not lacking. Decent overhead cabinet storage above the sink, but again, across from that, you've got that very nice size built-in dedicated pantry space there. It is a combo washer dryer standard on this. Like all the appliances you're looking at, this is the standard equipment package, even though this is not the final production model. It will have that kind of like tabletop dishwasher. And if you don't want that, if you want to pop that out and just wash your dishes in the sink and have more room to like be able to fold laundry above that washer dryer, you could absolutely do that too. One of the other cool benefits of this, though, being a stick and tin camper, is right above the countertop level in the kitchen, you may have noticed how it does have good dedicated power outlet space, which I think is pretty handy, at least by the prep area. The bathroom here, I have a little bit of an idea for you, And I kind of need your input on this, because this is one of those big, like, fifth wheel showers with a little corner seat and everything. But because of RV plumbing code, they have to build the shower base up above the floor level, which means, like, above this is about a 6.5-foot head clearance area, but when you step in the shower, you have to step up. You can see that my head hits the ceiling. So my idea is, what if they built the ceiling up in that area, but that would create, like, a box, essentially, beside that bed in the upper area. You know, you're gaining an advantage, but you're also implementing a drawback. I don't quite know what to think there. I've mentioned to the factory folks, I personally feel the toilet's a little too close to the sidewall there. Now, keep in mind, as we're looking at the footage on the left side of the screen, that's with the sliding privacy door open. Whereas when you see me sitting on the toilet, that's with the privacy door the way that you actually want to use it. So, you know, it certainly could be worse, but I think maybe it could be better. Now, I'm super up close and personal on this, but cracking open that storage right there, you've got great dedicated linen and towel space. You've got a big bonus closet area there. To me, I think that's probably one of your best hanging storage locations in this. And maybe you're getting dressed in the bathroom anyway. Maybe it makes sense. I don't know. The medicine cabinet space, the little space under the sink, nothing to really write home about. It's not that it's bad or anything. And I almost wanted to knock them for not including a trash can space, but I think that open pocket right there for me would be pretty perfect. What do you think? Then flipping around, coming the other way, you know, from the front of the RV to the back. This RV's action space is definitely in the back of it. Let's talk about this little benchy boxy thing down here, the Judi Dench benchy bench. That is designed to either be like a floating ottoman. You're going to see in a minute that the top of that can flip up to actually almost be like a little casual dining space as well. And it also has a little bit of storage below. But the window coverage on this is nuts. I will tell you though, it is earlier in the morning when I'm recording this, and it's going to be about 95 and super humid today. And I'm recording this early in the morning because I don't have air conditioning available to me, and it is going to get hot in here. And you're going to want to take off all your clothes. And I am going to get this thing recorded and get out of here before I do that, because then I would definitely get a YouTube strike. Anyway, the seating here is kind of interesting. How you've got the pushback recliner and the hide-a-bed, so you do still have some guest sleeping space there. But what you haven't really seen yet is entertainment, and that's where this little magical box comes in. This is not a cheap object. This is a high-def projector with like an autofocus thing, so if you want to move it around, in theory you could. It's already hooked up and wired to your JBL system. And its job is to be able to, you know, provide you with projection screen entertainment when you're ready, when it's time. But the thing is, with all these windows, you're going to have a hard time seeing it. Well, naturally, they thought of that. You close all the windows up here, and even in the middle of the day, you can suddenly start to enjoy a little bit of an entertainment space, or just use it at night. That projection screen is actually acting like your night privacy shade off the one side of the RV. And even with that little floating ottoman still on the floor, you can still open the hide-a-bed. Actually, it kind of creates a great spot if you're a long-legged goofball like me, where your feet don't feel like they're hanging off the bed, which I thought was very interesting and very cool. I was pretty impressed that they... I don't think they considered that, but at least there was the space that works for it. So maybe it's one of those Bob Ross happy accents. I'm not sure. Now, a couple other builders of this layout I've seen, they give you that loft attic storage bonus bed space, whatever you want to call it, but they don't actually give you a way to get up there. I was happy to see that Catalina actually included the ladder to go with this sucker. One of the other interesting things about this is it's no slides. So, you know, there's just fewer maintenance, fewer leak point, fewer worry things. And I'm telling you, I can just imagine sitting in this thing and like you had like some kind of lakeside overlook. Oh my gosh, this would be summertime fun. I'm about to do something I really don't like. I'm about to give you an under the double triple chin shot here so that we can talk about the air conditioning on this. Because if you notice, we've got dual air conditioning capability on this. but a really interesting thing Catalina is going to that we're not actually looking at yet. Because the build that I'm in is effectively a 24, but it will basically be released for 2025 updates. They're moving to GE low-profile air conditioners, and the reason that's a really big deal is they're about they're about half the noise. They're also planning to implement things like the RV airflow system potentially, which may lower that volume about another 30%, give or take. But GE low profile air conditioners have a built-in heat pump. So every single air conditioner Catalina uses, from their tiny single axles up to this crazy monstrosity, they're going to be both air conditioning and electric heaters built right into the RV. That's kind of a cool feature for spring and fall camping. Now, at the time that I'm recording this is brand new, and I don't have full final weights and measures available to me, so hopefully I have something on the left side of the screen for you. What I do want to mention is that with this having over an 11,000 pound GVW, and with the flat brick boxy shape of this, it is not fun to tow. Talking to RV delivery drivers who have delivered things like this to our store so far, they say, yeah, towing this thing is not a fun experience. But that's an important fact to remember on this RV. It is really not made for the idea of like towing around for the weekend. This is something that is really made with the concept of getting it to a site with full hookups and basically leaving it there for at least most of the year. It is not really tuned for towed around. You're gonna want probably easy a 3/4 ton minimum to move this sucker around as a result of just the flat frontal aspect of it, because we're actually looking at the tail of the RV. That's what trips a lot of people up. This is a back porch, not a front porch or a side porch. And once again, these sliding glass patio doors are purely a proof of concept. You're about to get a nice reflection of my chicken nugget dad bod in this thing because, Lord, I am overweight currently. Look at the reflectivity of that, though. That is like a straight mirror, and it's providing some nice privacy, at least during the daytime. At nighttime, people can still see through. Now, they go, it seems funny, like, well, if it's made to park somewhere, why do they have these, like, off-road style aggressive tires? And the answer there is because they have a higher load range for the weight category of this sucker, and it gives it a little bit better ground clearance, because if you notice, you actually have a 50% of the RV basically is a drop frame. And I do really appreciate, though, they made all the sewer stuff come straight out of one area right here. Now, what you have, your kitchen and bathroom, those all have their own dedicated holding tanks. That washer dryer, though, that is the pipe on the right side. So it's basically just a straight direct dump. So this is really built with the idea of having a full-time on-site hookup to allow that washer dryer to run that quantity of water through the RV. So that's a major key detail there. Now, they do have a basic solar prep on these, but if you're wanting to park totally off-grid and just run off the sun, you're going to be spending major thousands of dollars on the totally custom solar package to accomplish that. This is a tankless on-demand water heater, by the way. And again, this is the front of the RV. It is the flattest, boxiest, worst towingest kind of aerodynamic nightmare concept you can imagine, because this RV is not built with the idea of towing around all the time. That's what their normal trailers are for. This is something made for a very different purpose. They're kind of building it and tuning it all in different ways, you know. I do like the battery disconnect up by the tongue, though. Just simple little details like that. Now, over here on the I think the back is the campsite of the RV, but the passenger side of the camper, you do have things like your black tank flush over here, because that's the closest place to the bathroom. You do have a hot, cold outside utility shower, and they actually put the cleat, if you want to mount the sprayer wand up here so you can legit take more of a shower experience with it, or just set it out and let it run, let the dogs run through it or something like that. You know, I could see you doing that. And a quick little gas grill hookup down there so you can, do some grilling and chilling out here. But that also kind of made me beg the question, where's the awning? And I think the best way that I can say this is taking a little bit of a riff off Gru from, Despicable Me, where he says, in terms of money, we have no money. Well, this RV, in terms of awning, has no awning. But if you Like the idea of that whole kind of rear deck setup and all the glass, but you want something that's designed to be moved around a little bit and not left in one place quite so much. Well, they're working on a couple other things too, and I'll see what I can get on camera for you today. And in the meantime, if you want to see what else is coming soon, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and again, let me know what you think about this thing. Now, I will leave you some links in the video description to check for pricing and availability, but I want to mention when this video first comes out, these may not yet have gone into production, so we may not immediately have something on our website with pricing. Our local teams could assist you in that case. I'm not in sales, I don't have pricing files, I don't know what stuff runs, but we've got people for that, basically. Let me know what you think. Until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.